sorry. Welcome to the special Halloween episode of Muscle and Magicka. I keep thinking it's a really funny joke that someone told me earlier today. Anyway, those of you who have been with the channel for quite a while now will remember that I am, in fact, a vampire lord. Yes, that's right. Many years ago, I was smitten with this beautiful young thing, and Well, anyway, I became a vampire lord, and people ask me all the time now, Rance, how often do you use this power? And I tell them, well, you can only use powers once every 24 hours, but even if I could use it more often than that, I'm not sure that I would, because in my head, that would somehow defeat the purpose. I mean, this is supposed to be an ace up my sleeve. This is supposed to be something that I use when I really need it in emergency situations, and if I was able to use it anytime I wanted, that would probably mean that they had either scaled down the attack power of Vampire Lord so much that it was useless, or they had scaled up the resistance and hit points of everything else so much that it was useless. In any case, fundamentally, it wouldn't mean anything anymore. Now obviously, not everyone watching this video is a vampire lord like I am. However, chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably still have to make the same decision in the gym. How often are you going to unleash the beast? Now I'm not just talking about listening to loud music and lifting heavy. I'm talking about cranking it up, ramping it up to the next level, putting yourself in that zone and just going absolutely ham on those weights. And unlike my vampire form, you don't have any 24-hour restriction on your power. You could go into the gym every single day and use it for every single set if you wanted to. But is that the smart way to approach it? Well, let's take a look at a few variables. Understand that when you really amp yourself up and psych yourself up to that degree, it's going to put extra stress on your central nervous system. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? No, absolutely not. I mean, if you're lifting moderately heavy and doing compound lifts, you're going to tax your central nervous system. There's no way around that. However, just like anything else in the gym, it's a matter of balancing that intensity, and volume and frequency, of course, with your ability to recover from it. And since everyone has a different training volume, intensity, frequency, and ability to recover, that means this is going to be a highly individual thing. Consider also the effect that going beast mode can have on your form. Maybe your hands aren't quite positioned where you want them on the bar, maybe your core isn't quite braced yet, but all of a sudden that beat drops and you got no choice and it's time to go. Maybe sometimes you get a little bit too into it during your setup and you're down there shaking around underneath the bar and suddenly it slips just an extra half-inch lower than you're typically accustomed to. And these might seem like small nitpicky things, but when you're squatting 405 pounds, all of a sudden that extra half-inch makes a hell of a lot of difference. The bottom line is this. I think that between balancing these various factors and trying to make sure that beast mode retains its potency and doesn't become the norm or something that I'm used to or even something that I rely on, I would recommend maybe saving it for the 1-rep maxes. It makes sense for me personally to spend the majority of my time training in my right mind. Now, amped up for sure, but mentally relaxed, more or less, able to focus on form rather than going beast mode all the time when it's not really necessary and maybe lifting a little bit more weight. Now, your goals may be different than mine. You may have no problem with form or recovery. You may like going beast mode all the time. You may be a powerlifter, you may just be a really angry person that needs to murder the weights so that you don't murder other people. And I say that semi-jokingly, but in reality, I think that might be part of the reason that I don't really employ this method all that often. I'm not going to say that I never get angry, but I'm not an especially angry person, and as a result, I don't really find anger resonates with me all that well in the gym. It just doesn't do that much for me. Now don't get me wrong, I like to listen to loud music, I like listening to epic video game remixes and pretending that I'm a hero in training just as much as the next guy, but when it comes time to really take it to that next level, I actually find sadness to be a much more effective and potent emotion for me, for whatever reason. And I think I'll leave you with some music and a few choice clips from my personal life, just to give you an idea of what I use to get me in that right mentality when it's time for me to unlock the inner beast. Alright, look, I'm sorry. It's Halloween, okay? You should have seen it coming. Besides, I'm starting to get a little bit too sad for me. I'm starting to get kind of choked up over here. Anyway, if you gained some experience points, don't forget to like the video. And if you would like to continue your training in strength and wisdom with future quests, subscribe to the channel and join the Order of Muscle and Magicka. Till next time, you little rants.